Welcome back to the Africa Schools Football Championship 2024. We're in for the final game of the day. Libya didn't show up. They will not be playing Guinea. But we still have an explosive match coming your way. This one will pit Uganda, the East African side, up against the Senegal side that played out to a goalless draw against the last East African side they faced, that is Tanzania. As you can see behind us, the teams are warming up, and we're going to be ready to be fully entertained. And the team that is not warming up but is getting ready is the team that's next to me, Coach Simpiwe, Coach Akanor. Coach, this is now the game that we look forward to, the final game of the day. Hope for something explosive considering the rivalry that we are going to see, the competition expected.
Of course, I think it's a must win for any of the two teams. They must win to put themselves in a better position. However, it's going to be tactical, how they organize themselves. The structures is what we've been talking about. Their youth side, we want to see how they do it collectively as a team. And therefore, if that happens, then we can clearly see who will win the match in the process.
Now, earlier today, Tanzania defeated Uganda 1-0. So Uganda are looking to come into this one and get that result, much needed result. As for Senegal, when they play Tanzania, 0-0. I usually try not to allow myself to be tempted, especially when two teams play against us and you get mixed results, and you think you can gauge where they are off that particular team.
Yeah, you can only gauge if you've watched both matches,
Yeah.
and then you compare with yourself as well, because you will not be able to match adrenaline on the day. You will not be able to match mental aspects on the day, emotional aspects of the game on the day, because you don't know what the team talk looks like. You don't know what's at stake for the team. You don't know what are their tactical agreements as a team, what they want to achieve and the objectives. So it's important for you to look at yourself and say, I've seen a glimpse, over-prepare. Then you know that you'll be able to overcome any question that you get on the football pitch to say, tactically, if a team like Guinea, they line up with a 3-5-2, today they could decide to go with a 3-4-3. How will you handle that? But most importantly, you look at their habits in defense, because defending for them is a stable thing. You spoke about Ancelotti to say, he says, I teach the team to defend because attacking, it's individual characteristics, it's individual roles. So as a coach, it's important for you to look at your team and say, how can I prepare my team best for any eventuality? If a team sits back, how do we pierce through them? If a team attacks us and presses us, how do we absorb the pressure and use the space that they leave behind? So it's key for a coach to be tactically flexible and ready.
Coach, what we know of Uganda and what we know of Senegal, what kind of game do you expect? Because as you can see behind us, they look both physically capable. There's some teams you look like Morocco, you could see that they physically more dominant than Tanzania, and they kind of the girls' game, and they kind of, bullied their way into that one. It was hard for them. There's a physical aspect to big boys and big teams, but it looks like this could be on par.
Yeah, I see Uganda coming physically and probably playing a little bit intelligent in the way. But for Senegal, I've seen a couple of times of their youth football. They are well organized. They are a team that wants to play, wants to have the ball and play and all that. And so we're yet to see. I mean, it depends on how they are. Like Simvi said, the approach is very important. And then you see yourself in the first half, when you go back in the second half, what is the next approach? It's also key. And so we're yet to see a good performance, but I believe that they're going to excite us.
Now, pace on the flanks has been, from some of the questions I've asked for the people who are watching, has been one of the key areas for this Tanzania side, but also attitude defensively. What would you, as a coach, which area would you think of capitalizing on if you were heading the Senegalese side?
We are talking about youth football, youth
Yeah.
development, so they will not be deep into the things they have to do, what we know of the elite football. But it's important, the structures. How
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, the structures, how the team is organized, because they will forget themselves. They are youth, they are younger. They will forget themselves. Exactly what you tell them to do. They won't do what exactly you want them to do. But it's important that they have the structures. The defensive department, what do we do when we lose the ball, when we don't have the ball? How we are standing, how we are moving forward. When we attack, how we attack quickly. that is key in these things.
Coach, is there even a senior team? Do the players ever do what you tell them to do? Guys?
You know, when you scout and pick players, you pick players with character, meaning it's players that are able to process what you are saying to them. Coachable players are much more important than the most talented players, because you might find the most talented player that is not coachable. It means they don't take the information, they can't apply it, and what you teach at training. Remember, like Coach said, with senior teams, senior players, you teach at training. On the field, you just sit, match day. You sit and hope they apply what you've taught them. And you're just guiding in a match. But with youth players, that's why we question and say, how old really are these players when they're executing like senior players to the T? The tactics, the technique, how they think quick, how they're able to get out of situations, how efficient they are, and how much quality actions they produce consistently in the game. So when you have a group of players that are able to listen to you, take what you are saying and apply it the way they see fit, you've won half the battle. But if you see players that are ready to make the coach to be fired, you are in trouble.
What would you guys like to see from these young boys in this particular match?
Well, it's discipline. Discipline. They are young ones, and therefore they need to listen. You know, I go back to South Africa. What I saw, the way they press, it's a signal when the top of attack starts to run. It's a signal to the rest of the players, and they all follow. It means something they've been taught. They've done it on and on in training, and so it's too much to believe that they're doing this. You know, I expect these teams in this match to see the same thing. Tactically, how are they taught to do? What are they doing? Well, of course, there will be stubborn players within those who she would say uncoachable. You know, and of course the coach knows how to handle them. But I expect the discipline and then also the joy of playing. They must have fun and attack. I don't want a situation where you restrict them. It's like, don't do that. They should have fun in the things they are doing, and once they do that, they are good to go.
What about you, Coach? What would you like to see in this level of football from these two teams? Uganda being one of the biggest teams in East Africa. I say one of, and I'm not sure Jermaine is too happy when he hears that. And Senegal, of course, we know who they are. They gave us the Teranga Lions. What kind of football do you want to see from the youth going up?
I think consistency in tactical discipline, consistency in executing technical skills, because these are young players that constantly they teach themselves skills. They are all on the ball. It's me and the ball. At this stage, it's still me on the ball. And I'd want to see them expressing themselves in a way that says, the winger can do this against me. When I win the ball as a defender, I'm a modern defender. I can go against you as well. And also from the benches, the coaches to see how much freedom do they give to the players and how much of a tactical plan is put in there to be executed. And I know I'm not going to be popular when I say this. I want to see how much mistakes they are willing to make. Because when you are willing to make mistakes, you are striving for excellence. I don't want a perfect match without mistakes, because at this level, we are anticipating that they are not at the elite. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I make sense.
Now, actually, the more you speak, the more I realize that I need to disengage myself to a certain extent, because most of us will probably be thinking, hey, give us good football. We want to compare you guys to your national teams. And we forget that these are school students, young kids who are trying to make it. So maybe while they engage, encourage, and educate, we need to disengage, encourage them, and educate ourselves by, I think the best way to educate is by making mistakes and learning from them.
I think more so we need to look at what they do good, what they do better. You know, the mistakes will definitely come. You don't need even to ask them to make mistakes, but it will come. It's important for a coach now to be patient once the mistake is happened, and then how to go about it. If you go shouting on them, you are killing their spirit.
Predictions?
Predictions? I'll go for Senegal.
I think I'll also go for Senegal. Sorry, Jermaine.
Well, I'm sure for once I can buy myself some good credit with Jermaine, because I think I'll go for Uganda. And let's see what happens. Whatever happens, it's the Africa Schools Football Championship. They are here to learn and improve. And that's exactly what we will be part of as we witness Uganda against Senegal next.
It all comes down to the little things. An inch, a stretch, a push. All that stands between you and what's meant for you is one small step. Take the next step.
Welcome you to our final match here tonight. Uganda takes on Senegal in the final match that we bring you live from the new Aman Stadium in Zanzibar, Uganda. Come up a bit short in their previous match against Tanzania, losing that one 1-0, while Senegal, well, played to a 0-0 draw yesterday and had a bit of fair of fortunes, and now it's the two that get to square off. Our pitchside analysts hardly giving a chance to Uganda. But, well, that could pleasantly change. These are the champions of Sekafa. They did win the ticket to go ahead and represent on that stage. So question is, will they be able to carry on in similar stride? Still a brilliant morning out here in Zanzibar, on and off from the drizzle, but makes up with excellent temperatures here to play the game in, and quite the very good visibility, as the two teams will now be heading out onto the pitch and getting a chance to go ahead and do some real battle. Jermaine Agesa here, of course, be joined by Coach Simpiwe, who actually gets into the commentary both right now, as we await the two teams to actually head onto the pitch, and questions, of course, will be asked on just how ready they are on this particular matchup. A very tight schedule that they do have at hand here, both teams, as they will be engaging in, and that's a magnificent shot of the Puma ball that will be used today, as the two teams actually do emerge from the tunnels. Business at hand, quite some serious business in here, as proudly clad and carrying that ball to the pitch here is the match official, probably a big favorite for many here. Gentleman yesterday that did a brilliant job yesterday. Waison Usi Mustafa from Malawi will be the man at the center, assisted, of course, by the first assistant, Sasirio Moleka will be the assistant referee, while yesterday's very fast fast referee is now the fourth official. Hamidu Habibu will be the one that is handling the affairs on the sideline. And so, without much ado, Uganda red and black, and on the other end, Senegal will be all clad in white with strips of green. Big business that they do have in here. Let's quickly learn a few things here with these tactical lineups, and wonder if they do tell us anything to look out for here. Uganda 4-3-3, and there's that man there, Wanyama, who is in shirt 12, who will be the man that they will be looking to use as their center man. Was the one that got them one of those goals that got them through in the finals, and they'll probably be looking at him to get the job done for them.
Absolutely, Jermaine, and I'm looking at both these teams and I see equally physical teams, players that are ready to go. I think they would have played a bit later, but they're ready, up for the challenge. And when you're young, you just want to play. They could play the whole day and you wouldn't even see the signs of being tired. And I think the 4-3-3 formations of both teams, it will be interesting to see, are they playing with left and right strikers and a center forward, or are they playing with left winger and right winger, both teams? Because then wing play has been the order of the day, especially with teams that have garnered maximum points for themselves. Senegal comes in with a draw on their hands, and Uganda comes in with not so favorable results, so that means it's going to be a matchup that says whoever that gets the maximum points has a step and a chance into the next level of playing, and we get to see them probably playing tomorrow. I'm really excited to see the tactical acumen, especially from the coaches, to say how do they apply themselves. And I'm saying apply themselves because they have the bigger picture and the bigger role to guide their team, to say you play with how much intensity.
you know, to say, let's manage the game. Let's now take the intensity higher. Let's change how we are playing in the formation. Can be a 4-4-2. And in that midfield, is it one sitter, two sitters? It's going to be key to seeing how teams respond to each other.
Just a bit, we'll actually get this match underway. Tanzania already having partaken in the action. That is the team that will be watching this game with a beady eye. They did manage to get themselves a victory over Uganda 1-0. Senegal played to a 0-0 draw yesterday, so this is their final game as well against Uganda. And for Uganda, a must-win if they must find their way through here. We're underway, Uganda in the red and black, and Tanzania, watching on the sidelines, looking at Senegal and seeing just how much they can put to the table as we start this one off. Senegal in the white and green trim.
Let me just pick on you. Who do you want to win?
Good football. Good football. There's always a nice answer to that one. Good football.
I love that. And good football means a clean match where we go pound to pound where we need to. No unnecessary tackles, still respect to the game, because this is one beautiful tool that brings people together.
Quite ardently. Uganda made of a contingent there from the very proud stable for one of their more dominant teams in the league. Vipers Sports Club do take on this school as a feeder club. That's the St. Mary's Chitende. Quite a number of professional players have actually gone through these ranks. On the other end, for Senegal, well, an amalgamation of some of the finest there from several of the academies. Academy Federale, one of those, Generation Football, another Oslo Football Academy, one of the others. So quite the number of players. We'll be waiting to see how quickly and how well they easily gel up in here.
And it's pretty impressive to see academies that speak to football and education. Maybe let me swap it, education and football, because that is very important. And I know in men's football, some young stars would think that I just need to be shipped overseas and I don't need to study and all of that. Well, education makes you an even better footballer, you know, and I think it even gives you an even better chance to succeed. Imagine being a doctor, a lawyer who is a meticulous center midfielder, goalkeeper and all of that. Why not kill it with both talents?
Same words quite very much re-echoed by African legend Emmanuel Adebayo, especially in terms of the fact that you need to get the education as a tick-off in your journey as a footballer. As well, warning the youngsters that you're more prone to very shady agents if your education is not quite up to scratch, something that he did point out the day before the tournament got underway. Well, there's a free kick here. Senegal have themselves a pretty good chance to kick off something here. So is the youngster that will be taking this one on, El Hadji Ibrahima So. Uganda will have their work cut out. Ball punched away. The offside flag had already come up, so no major scruples in here. 4 minutes played so far of the 20. Full pitch now. Just a tendency to lull the brain back into the full 90 minutes when you see the full pitch. And it's a quick jog of memory to remember that it's only 20, which explains the frantic speed that we start off with. Trying to keep the ball in play. Good stuff, but still allows the defense to get away and clear that one out. And a chance here for Uganda to try and get themselves onto the attack. The offside flag coming up here. Mwebe trying to quickly get himself in a prime position here to get some work done for Uganda. Oh, a little too fast there. Isan Mwebe. There's a foul and a free kick awarded. Both teams looking evenly matched here.
That whistle must have a lot of sugar in it. I've heard it blown more than 10 times already in 5 minutes.
Rightly so. There's a couple of scuffles here. And the referee is quick to make sure that they stay on top of every single moment. Goal kick clearance, Adrian Mukwanga for Uganda. Long searching ball thumped clear here by the defense of Senegal. Looking to control that, and with a bit of a maverick style. Wange trying to just get the ball in. Moebe once again tried to maraud that wing. Well, this time it was actually an attempt coming in from Simon Wanyama. Mokama with the throw into the box area. Averted. Thumped clear. Senegal, well, intent on making sure its defense at all costs. Doesn't have to be pretty, just has to be effective. To the midfield. Picking it up here, Senegal. Nice through pass up onto the flank, but a little short. Not enough in there for the youngsters to get the job done here. Wasike in that centre-back position, and will be keen to make sure that he can actually keep things rolling here for the Ugandan side. Frank Wasike. Drawn in. Attempted pass towards the final third. Hacked clear. Rhythm yet to be fully established in these first 6 minutes or so.
I was about to say that, Jermaine, to say we haven't really seen which team of the two is in control of the match, because, and it speaks to the joke we just made, to say the referee keeps on blowing, because both teams look very aggressive, and they denying each other time and space on the ball. Hence, you are seeing so much physical, contact between the two teams. I beg your pardon.
Poked back, Kamukama, that is the right back, and well, again, another incident. And Moebe finding himself in another carrier's position there, forcing the referee to go to the whistle. Long pass, searching, finds its way here. Diaye squared out, coming from, well, hard position there. Wagne back to the defense, skipping away from that challenge and managing to set the ball in motion. Good play there from Mobiru. The ball goes over the line. It's a throw in. Sesazi just couldn't keep that rolling here for the Ugandan side. 7 minutes, fast approaching 8. Still questions to ask on this tightly contested affair. Evenly matched teams for the moment, none seemingly with the upper hand. Trying to flick that forward, intercepted. And now Mobiru battling for possession and manages to acquit himself well enough. Goes for the searching ball. Both teams prone to trying to bypass the midfield and go straight towards the front line, the route one as it's normally called. And, similar game plan from both.
I think probably it comes also to the pressure of wanting to win the match as quickly as possible. 20 minutes is not a very long time for you to establish yourself. You want to hit the ground running. Maybe also the warm-up was a bit rushed, to say the previous match didn't give them enough time to warm up and go into their fields, get the game plan right, and polish more other things. Obviously, coming to the match today, you'd think that a lot of tactics was spoken about and all of that, but if you're rushed with time, there's some details that you tend to leave out, and now your mind is racing to do things correctly. Earlier on we spoke with Lawi to say,
shot here, goalkeeper manages to get his hands down in time. Adrian Mokwanga, well, at that moment he felt his defense had actually thrown him to the dogs. We get another chance to look at that. Clean interception, and the captain Mobiru might have to shoulder a bit of the stick for that. It's something that doesn't come at a heavy reprisal. They have a chance now to galvanize troops as there's a corner. Corner kick for Senegal. Weaved in, but waves no damage here. A player to the ground. Another free kick. Well, I don't really fancy a person keeping tally of the fouls, because they seem to be fast flowing here between
in
both
such a short space of time.
Good one in the midfield. Ba gets back onto the ball once again. Good communication between him and, well, his namesake in the back line, Ba, as well. Really keeping it tight in here. Mahmoud Diang Ba and Mahmet Ba. The ball now slips up onto Wing goes over the line, and that's a throw in. Set to come through for Uganda. Sesazi to Mubiru. Captain clips it back here to Sesazi on the left. Tries to center it. Oh, looked for the dummy. His teammates weren't paying attention. But Senegal were, and now they have a chance to cross this one in. A chance here. First time shot. Well, yields not much. El Haj Malik Ndoa just could not get that on target. A decent effort and very good movement. You'll have to give it to them.
A decent effort, really, indeed. And I think he's swapped wings now because Wagner was playing on the left. Now he's playing on the left. I think it comes on his sweet foot as a left footer. Composure, control the ball and be able to play. These were the mistakes I was talking about, to say if you're ready to make a mistake, it means you are taking an effort, making an effort to actually getting closer to excellence. Because if you don't try, you'll never know if you are able or not.
Well, the captain, Mubiru, now to deliver this one. Gets a long ball in there, Samuel Mubiru. And admittedly doesn't yield much for Uganda. Now they'll try to fancy a shot from distance, but that's easily closed down. It's another throw. 11 minutes of the game gone. Still not telling these two apart, well, save for their jersey colors. Quite similar in play. Hacked clear. Uganda will have to build again from their own half. Opting not to go to the goalkeeper, rather try to play it to the wing. Mubiru tried to fling it forward, but, well, caught with his hand in the cookie jar. That's an offside. It's a free kick that will be given to Senegal. Chance here to once again have a go about it. Another player in there that they probably would want to look to. I'm not so sure has really brought it up just as well as they would want. Shot 6, Ashraf Chakua did actually finish off the qualifiers for Uganda as the best player from the Sekafa region. We haven't seen much of his impact in this game just as yet.
I think it's also deemed and to the fact that they still have not been in control of the game in being able to put the ball down and piece passes together where we see combination play, but they've just been taking a touch and hoofing the ball forward, which doesn't allow them time and space for their own good to think on the ball, puts the foot a bit on the ball to think and be creative and orchestrate some moves that will dismantle that defense of Senegal. Probably in the second half we'll see more of it because it's already 13 minutes and we haven't really seen clear chances, especially for Uganda. But for Senegal, I think we've seen one or twice where they've gone forward and tried to score.
Much that we can look into from the tag of being the go-to players. Yesterday we did see one of those players really struggle with the tag of being the go-to man. Another we haven't seen pop up here just as yet. From a young perspective, coach, does that really add any pressure to perform?
It does add pressure to perform because even your teammates keep saying to you, come on, man, you know what you can do. Bring it up. And if he's not on song on the day, it becomes a bit difficult and adds that pressure to say now they want to carry the whole team, whereas physically and mentally, they're not ready to do that. And it becomes a letdown and they find themselves making more mistakes than doing good for the team and the confidence goes down. So it's going to be key for other players to raise their hands and say, let me also be a go-to player in defense, in attack, and in transition, because if you only have one key player in a moment, it becomes difficult.
Wasike launches a long ball up to the flank here. Good touch in there, but can he retain possession? This is solid play coming in from Sesazi. Going on a speedy overlap. Now you'll wonder if Uganda has enough numbers to cover that position. Yes, they do. Answering well enough. Through pass from Chakua. Ball cleared away. Battle here, Mubiru going toe-to-toe here, and his marker still keeping a solid grip on that. Now chance for a cross in here to the box area, shot, hurried and closed down. Ndiaye playing a solid game here to be able to set up Wagner. Uganda managed to survive that break off, and now they have a chance to try and get forward once again, but easily tipped away. 5 minutes left to play in this half. Still Uganda 0, Senegal 0. Holding off onto the ball. Looking to float that one in. Goalkeeper, well, not waiting to be called to the occasion. Just dashing in there, Alassane Sarr, who also is the skipper for this Senegalese side.
Senegal is using a lot of wing play, but they're not flocking numbers into the box because those crosses keep coming in.
Well, interception, player goes down. Wanted a touch in there, the goalkeeper, well, really not convinced, and so was the referee, who was standing right on site. But the player is still on the ground. Now we'll dash back. We do have the benefit of a replay to see if there was any form of contact here. That would be Pape Mata Ndiaye, who still is on the ground. He seems to be in quite a bit of pain. You were talking about the numbers. Very few in the box, especially when you use the wings. It becomes a little pointless unless you expect your wingers to consistently cut in, and we haven't seen that happen here for Senegal.
No, we haven't seen that happening, which means So and Ndiaye need to join the attack as quickly as possible, because the moment that ball goes wide, you have no business staying in your defensive third. Because look at that, even if Ndiaye would have gotten that ball, tried to find someone else, it would have been difficult. It's very tricky to say, was it really a touch or a clip on his ankle there? Good effort from So. And look at it this way. So is the one that plays attacking midfielder. He's out wide playing that cross in. Where is Ndo? Because he's supposed to be now replacing to say, my attacking midfielder has gone wide to play that cross in. I need to replace and come inside, because football, the formation is there for a formality. Everybody has the ability to move, you know, have interchanging in positions and all of that. Maybe only the goalkeeper is not allowed to change with anybody.
Careful. Some of them may take your words to heart. Mobiru gets the ball forward here. Seen a couple of goalkeepers venturing way out of their box area. Well, there's a foul, a free kick. Another free kick here for Senegal. Chakwa fouling. And Ba tries to play a free kick, but that's a wasteful one. The referee lets the game continue here. Now gliding in, this could be a good opportunity. And a spectacular save right on the button. Excellent, excellent save here from Adrian Mukwanga. Well, for a moment, that looked like a clear opening here. The defense flat-footed, brilliant glide in. The goalkeeper quite adept on his feet and as well as with his wits. Ball hauled in, clipped clear. Ooh, could be a chance here for a second bite of the cherry, and there's a tag. Referee not convinced. And Uganda now on the counter-attack, looking to speedy break here. It's 3 against 2. They have options, gliding away from one, but a little too selfish there. One player taken off. Well, there was a chance there for Wanyama to simply slide it out here for the rest of his teammates to get into the fray.
He had the stadium announcer saying his name that he scored beforehand. Finish the job first, or like you're saying, lay off to somebody, and now they have the numbers. Contrary to how Senegal plays, Uganda, when they go forward in that counter-attack, they actually had more numbers. Composure, think. Let me look who's beside me. Can I make a pass for my teammate to make it easy for us to score?
Well, they were to say there are deadlines to beat before you grab the headlines. In that instance, couldn't finalize the move and seemed to have his head a little in the skies as the ball is now nicked away. Uganda, that's a start that they won't be very pleased with. 0 shots on target or even off. Stark contrast for Senegal that have literally kept putting their work out in there. Good shot.
There's your shot on target.
Finally. It's not one that will really trouble the goalkeeper as he manages to pick that up with ease, and they've constantly been caught offside. 3 offsides in that sequence. And now they'll need to find a way to hold the line. Alessane Sarr, the goalkeeper, just put that clear. Now Uganda will get a chance to hand in their rebuttal. Good control. In the end, it's offside again. 4th offside here for Uganda. They just can't hold the line.
They become too anxious and they don't check their line. And you know, being onside is a tactic as well, because it means you're self-aware where you are on the field, where's the opponent in relation to the ball. It makes it easy because those are opportunities missed as well.
Well, it's one of those that is at times a skill learnt over time. For some, just an instinct to time the run right. And where it's an instinct is what really makes one a super attacker, real deadly forward because they just know when to make the move. As right now, Uganda have a chance. This is Setimba. Tries to keep the ball in play. Couldn't control it. Couldn't move it forward or backwards and loses possession there. Setimba. It's a throw in. Senegal. Tamba gets it forward. Losing it in the same breath there. The chance for Kamukama, but couldn't hold on to the ball. Will have to go again with another throw. It's full pitch. But his lads here constantly having the ball out on the wings. You could be slightly fooled into thinking we're playing half pitch. Well, leading with his hand, and that's a foul. Simon Wanyama could find himself getting some remonstration here from the referee. Well, that's his final warning. Referee making it pretty clear, won't entertain any more of that aggressive play on his pitch. And as the medics do get to attend to Ba, the referee will send the two teams back to the dressing room. Hardly anything much in this game that has been able to separate the two sides. It's two teams that have found it pretty hard to link together a rhythm or pattern of play. It's been a lot of Route 1 football. There's going to be some big discussions here as the Ugandans get together to try and make sure that they can come up with the right game plan that could allow them to probably edge together. Senegal had plenty of wing play, not enough bodies in the wing, as pointed out here amply by Simpiwe. And now they'll have to make sure that those bodies can avail themselves and take those chances when they are created. Whether that is what will happen in the next 20 minutes of the second half, your guess is as good as mine. But at halftime, it's Uganda 0, Senegal 0.
And Senegal here at the Africa Schools Football Championships, day 2, and it's proving to be tougher than day 1. Not many teams giving too much leeway to their opponents, and Senegal are getting a lesson on just how hard it is to break down the Ugandan side. Goalless at halftime, what did you make of that first half, Coach Akonor?
Well, I think it's been tight. There hasn't been much space for any of the teams to play, but what I have seen so far, they've done a lot of switch play from one end to another, long balls, getting behind the defenders, and Senegal has been close of scoring goals.
Of play, at least when the numbers are concerned, from the statistics, it looks like it was very, very balanced. Yes, Senegal got 2 shots on target, and no shot on target for Uganda, although they came very close with Simon Wanyama, possibly with the best chance for Uganda in that first half, but ultimately losing out, dilly-dallying a bit too much, being a bit too elaborate and not making any threat or creating any threat for the Ugandan side. They are a physical side. We talked about both of them being balanced physically, but the fouls definitely go to the way of Uganda. They're not giving Senegal any room to build play, to breathe, and most definitely not to find the back of the net.
You asked earlier the matches that we've seen to say if you are up against an opponent that is much stronger and much more physical than you, what do? You go a step ahead, and that's what Senegal is doing. They are moving quicker, they are getting to the ball quicker and fast, and they are making those passes quicker, and they will hit them. know, in the head, and I'm saying in the head definitely precisely because that's your head of delegation should be telling you that we are creating so many opportunities and we should be bearing those chances, because if Uganda could score a goal, it's going to be difficult for Senegal really to come through, because the physical element of it, they're just going to go ultra defensive and make it difficult. Look at these opportunities and these chances for Senegal. El Hadji, for me, he gets an opportunity, it comes to his left, he's supposed to go a little bit more, if anything, because he dispossesses, wins the ball, and the transition from defense to attack was incredible. Look up, top corner, you are able to score because you are too far from the goalkeeper for you to hit a straight shot like that.
Uganda creating some chances of their own, albeit struggling a bit more.
Come again?
Uganda creating a few chances of their own, albeit struggling a bit more, especially in the final third as compared to Senegal.
Yeah, but they've not had a clear-cut opportunity to score because it's been tight. More so, we've seen Senegal coming closer of scoring. But it's been close. It's been a close game. And more creative in the second half.
And I mean, sorry about that, Lawi. You're looking at a Senegalese team that is able to attack both sides, on the left, on the right. It means wing play is their thing. I said it earlier to say, in the 4-3-3, are you playing with a left striker, right striker, or a right winger and a left winger? Senegal is playing with a left winger and a right winger. But there are no numbers that are going into the box to make sure who is at the end of those crosses that are coming in. So went out as a midfielder to play a cross in. And you're looking at El Hadji again. He started on the right side. He comes in, he's able to take a shot. It's his weaker foot a bit, but he gets a shot on target. Now, where is Wagner and Diaye there as a strikers to be able to finish off those crosses that are coming in? They need to improve on the numbers that are going in.
That's for the Senegalese side. What would you expect going into the second half for this Ugandan side?
There must be more. There must be creativity in the way they play. Yes, they've sort of defend in a way, but we've not seen too much up front what they've done. They have to be able to create chances to score, and of course the quick passing must also come into play.
All right, so it's proving to be quite a difficult one. We expected this between these two hugely favored sides. Physically, they're very equal. Tactically, well, Senegal, according to Coach Simpiwe, having that edge, but will they be made to rue their missed chances? I see the players are already getting back to the pitch. Senegal have had a chance. They've wasted a few of their good chances, but they'll need to pick themselves off from that slightly disappointing first half, just as their player, the man who was on the turf as the whistle went, Mamadou Diangba, had to pick himself up, and they'll need to get going, because if they don't, Uganda could just sneak in with that victory that I was talking about.
Physically robust, technically still cancelling each other out. One of these teams might just have to find a way to slightly tweak their game plan and come up with the master stroke, as one goal might be all that it takes here to separate the two sides. Uganda and Senegal back on the pitch for the second half. 20 more minutes here to play. One of these youngsters will have to step up and get the job done. Final game here for us today. Just standing by here for that acknowledgement from the referee to get the game underway for the second half. Uganda in the red and black, the all white and green trim for Senegal. Doesn't look like there will be any change in personnel getting into the second half. Tricky first half there as outside pitch analysis literally coming through. The stats not exactly favoring Uganda's style of play. We'll have to look for a few adjustments in there. Will those adjustments be their undoing? There's also another caution of tail they might want to get on with. Signal in, and we're underway with the second half. It's a long ball. Oh, made clear. Oh, hit clear back to the goalkeeper of Uganda. Mukwanga gets the game started on quickly once again. Uganda in a good position towards the final third. But imprecise passing, and the ball is hacked clear by the defense of Senegal. Throw in. Sesazi to take this one. Almost controlled out here. Ooh, player goes down. I'm not so sure he intended Setimba to end up sitting on his opponent there, just losing his footing, but nonetheless, doesn't make it any less painful there. It's just a little coming together. Must say that must have been a little more painful than would have preferred. Now free kick. That should be in the offing here. Some medical attention. Quickly patched here now.
Tamba has actually been very solid on the right side there of Senegal. Hasn't allowed Mwebe to really dominate there, and he catches his line really well. That's why we've seen a lot of offsides from this Ugandan side, which means they're too eager to go forward, but they're not checking their lines and not seeing the opportunities that could come with them playing with each other and finding that extra pass, not be in a hurry. Defender needs to get up and know that as much as he dishes out tackles, the same might come to him as well.
Same thing that was done to them will be done to thee. The center referee there, asserting his dominance, making sure everybody follows the rules of the game. And there you go, having a quick word, assistant, that's a fourth official, having a quick word with Tamba, who will be allowed to get back to the field of play as soon as the sequence gets underway. A sliding challenge there, that goes away. Senegal trying to play in tighter pockets of space and seeming to find it formidable to work with as a weapon, trying to cross the ball, but the offside flag coming up. Well, that's a lot more encouraging from Senegal. Having a couple of numbers and options, even in the wings, might actually work to their, well, success here.
You can see that the coach probably picked up that is one of the biggest things that they need to work on tactically, to say let's have more numbers going forward. Now at least it's better to get offsides than no numbers at all going into the box, because they are creating those opportunities. It's something to work with, and I think the players didn't take it too light. They found a way to apply themselves and say let's get into the final third as quickly as possible, add numbers, and something will give for them.
Sesazi clearing his lines here. Once again to the center of the park. Senegal happy to prod that ball up front. Takes a weird bounce. Goalkeeper wanted to come out for that. Thought twice about it. Mkwanga, in the end, his decision justified as the defense just gets that tidied up in one neat ball. Out to the wing. Looking to hack that clear. Doesn't settle well enough. A moment here you might be forgiven for thinking Jabulani has been thrown onto that pitch. Bubbly ball that seems to have a mind of its own, but well, this one is one that seems to follow the pattern of play, and there's a lot of hacking clear. You can't really fault the ball for its path of flight.
And it keeps coming back as quickly as possible because of the surface of the pitch. It's artificial pitch. It's harder than the normal grass that absorbs and holds the ball.
Corner taken. Far post, nodded back in. Not exactly as accurate as would have been required. For a moment I thought there was an issue with that delivery, but turns out they had their game plan worked out right. They were looking for that height on the far end of Wasike, and it just wasn't used to full advantage.
And I think it's a great tactic now. The conversation with him would be, instead of trying to go for goal, bring it back into the 6-yard so that we can finish, because we already have numbers there. And when a team isn't able to deal with the first point of defending a corner, the second phase, they are dismantled already, so they are disorganized. Take advantage of that, and maybe you can even capitalize and score a goal.
Theo making sure that there'll be no taking advantage of his space. Sheikh Theo is hacking that ball clear. Right now, some real coaching here being put up through Daniel Abe Male, head coach of this Ugandan side. Towards the center of the park, taking no chances. Any clearance will do here. Well, they have been told to make sure that back door is bolted shut, and they're doing that. So another corner for Uganda. Can they fully utilize that to their advantage? Dabo seemed to be caught in about two minds there. Wasn't very happy that he was being blamed for his clearance. All got the job done for the moment. Corner kick for Uganda. Referee's double peel of the whistle here seems to signal a bit of scuffle going in box area. Whipped in. Not a good take there. Just finding the defense, literally handing initiative to Senegal to put the ball away.
Jermaine, Uganda is pumping everything forward. I think it's the game plan now to say, let's throw in everything forward. Let's compete for that second ball and all of that. And this might prove fruitful for Uganda because they're not a very technical team. They just hoof it forward, fight for the second ball and play from there. And they've been doing that in the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes. They've got 2 corners out of it. And now those throw-ins, they're getting closer and closer into the box.
Well, interesting perspective there as the ball is headed back to the goalkeeper. But in that sequence, with a throw-in, and Uganda had 6 players in the box area.
Yeah, it's because Mubiri can throw that far. Some of the teams, if you are lucky enough to have a player that can throw that far, it becomes like a free kick going into the box, you know. And I've seen teams that use that as a tactical ploy to say, let's get those throw-ins in there. As soon as we throw it in there, we send numbers because we've got the height to go and compete for the first ball, second ball, and we can get something out of that. And that something might be a goal.
Well, speaking about throw-ins being used as a weapon, you don't need to look far. The female compatriots from Uganda use that to excellent precision. Might be a Ugandan thing. Long ball up front, nodded away, not that I'm aware of. I saw you glancing at me. I have no idea that is one of our things, but oh well.
Now you know. Good observation as well. And that's the beauty of the football in the country because there's certain elements that are similar and that, you know, transcend all the way from the top to the bottom and vice versa because there's something that needs to show that you are from the same country, same culture, and have certain abilities that all of you embrace. So I think this is incredible. Actually, I'm looking at Uganda. There's a coach that comes from South Africa who was appointed for the women's national team, Cheryl Bottas.
Yes.
And she has produced so many great players, including myself. She has coached me and mentored me into the coach that I am today, and I think she's doing great things in that Ugandan football, especially for women's football. So I'm not surprised seeing that young team of girls that with the finesse and the pro. Really looking forward to what's to come.
An ardent follower of the game wherever, whenever, especially for Uganda. Doesn't matter if it's not the girls or the ladies playing. So I'll not be surprised if she's keeping an eye on these matches here as well. But for the moment, Uganda's defense need to keep an eye on Senegal. He was waltzing his way into that box area. Almost caught them on the back foot, and now the chance to launch the ball up front. We just did see a couple of seconds ago a sequence there. And now another through pass, brilliantly chipped in here. And trying to get that ball towards the box area. This Ugandan side can actually string some good moves together in that midfield, but for some reason they just keep ignoring the midfield.
And such precision, because look at that, they win the first ball, are able to make those passes, a dribble going in there. So maybe more confidence and a reminder that you are capable of playing such football.
Once again, looking for the height of Wasike, and it looks like something that they must have trained a lot. The St. Mary's in Chitende, but it's just not paying off here. Wasike, second attempt, still not with the precision that would be desired. Center referee quick to remind everybody it's 20 minutes. We can't afford to have time wasted. As for the moment, 9 minutes of the second half have been played. Just get another look at that. Once again to the far post. Seems to think he can actually hit it straight back. And his teammates exasperated there. Probably, as you said, played back here to the final third once again.
He's taller than all of them. He's seeing something that they don't see. Maybe he's seeing the size of the goals are, big enough for him to just hit the ball into the net. But I think somebody really needs to remind him. Or if he wants to do that, he needs to jump higher than the ball so that he can jackknife it down. Jackknifing it means you are heading the ball down because you've jumped higher than the ball. But now he's just heading the ball straight. That's why he balloons it over the poles instead of even making a pass to a teammate or setting a teammate up.
Well, scoreboard out there in the background of the picture tells the entire story. 30 minutes of action and still no goals to write home about. No pun intended. Still 0-0. That means just 10 minutes left to play. Come to you live here from New Aman Stadium in Zanzibar. Looking to get the ball up front. To roll this one through. Earlier on there, a substitution here for Uganda. Mwebe coming off, and it looks like James Sekate is the man that is brought on shot 14, taking the place of, well, the very agile Disan Mwebe. So, interesting twist of notions here for Uganda. Quick to acknowledge that it's not working. 10 minutes left to play. Switch it up. I have to say for Mwebe, there's a bit of silence about him, especially on that flank. It really failed to provide penetration or width. And talking about penetration or width, good cross from the wing. It just whistles across the face of goal and out on the opposite end.
I think for Mwebe also, it became also a little bit more difficult for him because in the second half he was not playing on the left wing where he was. Instead, he was on the right wing, and as a left footer, I'm not sure if it gave him a chance to compete because Siatimba also on the side, he's playing on the left as a right footer. So every time he gets to cut in, probably to create an overload or an overlap, I'm not sure, but it didn't work out for Mwembe because there he is, he's off the pitch.
Good stance there from Sesazi, making sure he wasn't beaten, just stuck to his guns and defending well. Long ball launched in there, but to no avail. His goalkeeper now looks very intent on running down the clock. Not so sure that's the ideal technique here, especially when it's 20 minutes, but needs must find themselves in a better position or a more comfortable position here, being able to hold on to a 0-0 draw that would take their tally to 2 points.
Which is not good enough because Benin has 3 points, Tanzania has 3 points in their bag. Also, you look at Guinea, have got 6 points, so it doesn't really help their cause.
Well, they'll find probably solace in the fact that they are in that group with Tanzania and Senegal, so things could be easier for them. But for the moment, Uganda will have to hack the ball clear. Might just fancy that second position in Group A. That would literally, well, find themselves hacking it clear there against the top team in Group B. That would be the first game for tomorrow at exactly 4:30. Shot coming in. A chance for a header. Ball pumped away. That goes out for a corner. Now Uganda will get encouraged. And there he is, Chakwa, finally coming to the shore. Well, that might have taken quite a bit out of the goalkeeper. It's a long throw once again from the captain. A big scuffering there, trying to set the ball to the side. Uganda trying to link up play. And the headers back and forth.
You know, I'm laughing. I'm laughing at Wasike. Now he's supposed to head into the goals. He's setting someone up. Wasike, come on. I know they say the taller you are, the colder it gets up there, but come on, you need some warmth. Come back down to earth. I know between me and you are tall. It's a bit cold up there. It's a bit warmer down here. You need warmth a bit to think straighter. You are thinking straight, but straighter. Because if you would have hit that ball into the net, it would have given them a chance.
Well, in his defense, he's been paying attention. You said you can't be changing instructions.
Did my message get there? Because he's
finally
tall.
got there. I said, wait, what is the instruction? Head back in. I just did.
I'll forgive him just this once.
Goalkeeper will need to get himself back to his feet here. And Ugandan team looking a little agitated that Sa is taking his time here to get back to his feet. Well, that save might have taken a bit out of him, especially when you look at the fact that he had to spill that ball and look for a second touch to get it away. But Uganda with a corner. Tail end of the game. Goalkeeper this time picks that one up. It's a decent attack there from Uganda to try and get onto that ball. It's just not good enough here to finish off the job.
I think Senegal is unable to deal with a lot of long balls that are sent into the box by Uganda, because so far we've only seen them twice in the second half where they tried to attack. We got across, we saw them trying to go into the box as well. But so far the second half has just belonged to Uganda.
Coming together there, but Uganda retain possession and a chance now to whip the ball in from the cross, and a first-time cross. Well, a little too close to the goalkeeper, but a very good idea. Simon Wanyama will probably cut a bit of a forlorn figure up front. He's not getting the supply he wants, but there's hope in there as the new sub, or the substitute was brought in, James Sekate, attempting to weave in a couple of those crosses. Do they have enough time to try again? Can't afford to get frustrated here at the tail end. Still anybody's game for the taking, and that solitary goal could be all that it takes here. Throw in for Senegal. Skipper here, Mobiru, trying to galvanize the troops and keep them right in check here. Tamba with the throw in.
That's a nice 50 cent on his thigh. Now you must know the next tackle that he makes, he's going to be worried about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When they say you come out with bruises, that's what we mean.
He must be a real... This is another one who's hit the deck quite a couple of instances here. Ndiaye. Been one of those figures that has given a bit of trouble to the Ugandan side. Well, he earns himself a free kick here. 3 minutes on the clock. Questions: cross it in, or fancy to try and give the goalkeeper some bit of hell?
He's looking at the goals. He's going directly.
Yeah. He's left-footed. Does have the ability to go for it. Ndio going for the near post. Goalkeeper just palms the ball away, lets his defense sweep up the mess.
But there was no conviction in how he kicks that ball, you know, the confidence that comes with it. And it explains why the numerous chances that he got, he wasn't really fully invested in that to say, let me pack a shot, let me drive it in, or let me find a spot and pick a spot to score. So that's something that he needs to look at, and the coach needs to help him to improve, to be more assertive, because left-footed players are special players. They are known for the technical abilities.
Well, talking about technical abilities, someone really putting a few step-overs on show here. And Setimba trying to catch the defense out wide. On the other end, you might wonder if maybe it's a preference for the flair as opposed to the physical raw adaptability to the role. Sometimes it's a combination that is required of both. Ndiaye tries to venture forward once again, gets an extra inch of his marker, and that was some indecision here from the Ugandan defense. Goalkeeper and his defender caught cold in there. And the ball still finding a way to elude them all. That simply needed any kind of poke, and it would be the back of the net. And our player goes to the ground. Free kick here for Uganda.
Yesterday you laughed at me when I said we give players 100% information, they take 1%. Senegalese players took 1% in the first 2 minutes of the second half to say the coach said we must go into the box for crosses. Look at that. Now, since that 2 minutes they did that, then they forgot about it. Because this could have been a fruitful moment for them with Ndiaye creating that. That cross calls the goalkeeper out, and it's curling away from the goalkeeper. A nice step in would have really given Senegal 3 points.
And how about that for criminal for Uganda? You do not allow a striker to get in front of you as a defender. You do not allow yourself as a goalkeeper to come out to meet the ball and still make no contact, or at least prevent the player from getting to the ball. That would have been a sweet, sweet tap-in with no problem at all. Now, talking about problems, one of the players here having to get stretchered off. He's played his role. It's one of those things that happens with the game. The substitutions cannot be avoided. As a chance comes up here, and the goalkeeper, well, was alert. Tipped that away. Nearly caught many by surprise there. Uganda looked to restart it off quickly. And Sarr had to make sure he got the ball away from miles out. Could have been able to hold it better, but maybe
he did well.
Made the right decision just to tip it over. Another cross towards the far end. This time Uganda's secret technique has been well mastered. Goalkeeper knew exactly where to head. He's got the ball away, but at the expense of another corner. Setimba to take this one. Made fancy a variation of technique. Final minute. Whipped in. Glanced off. Oh. Well executed. Not enough power generated behind the header. The goalkeeper having no qualms picking that up.
I think, you know, Uganda looking at this corner that they take all the time, it would have been easier for them to say, let's run onto the pitch. Is that a celebration from Senegal?
It is a celebration from them. It's 2 points collected, knowing that Uganda were beaten by Tanzania. So that means for Uganda, well, very much the end of